It sounds like if a rooster and a lion conceived a child. As you hear this horrible, like, screeching sound.
We Gucci.
No, I'm Kepesk.
Hey, welcome back. So,
Just say no.
that's equivalent to no, this is Patrick. Alright, so, when we last left off, the party, mourning the loss of their companion, set to a night of horrible drinking and bar binging, essentially. You did a pub run, but there's only 2 pubs, so you didn't really run very far.
Bar hop.
We finished the bar hop. We did the whole thing.
You just literally hopped once.
Pub crawl, but where you only crawl at 10 feet. As you guys encountered Captain Hoffman, who, having a job for you guys, assigned Dutch to the aid of the party to hopefully help you guys take down the Griffin, as per the quest.
What do you mean, hopefully?
Assigned by Brigadier Manning. And with that, we're going to bring it back in. As you guys, about midday now, are making your way out from Succumber towards the direction that only Dutch knows of Brigadier Manning and hopefully the Griffin.
I'm quickly striding, trying to show dominance.
I'm gonna stride ahead of you.
Okay.
Or, like, try
to. As you're walking, like, confidently, like, chin up, chest out, kind of eyes front, shoulders straight, you see kind of coming up on the right side of you is the large looming lizard folk that's just a little bit taller than you.
I am 8 inches taller than him, you bitch.
Approximately.
Not everywhere.
Yeah, I'm 9 inches taller there, bitch.
Ew.
I'm 6 foot and 4 inches.
Wait.
Those are 2 different measurements.
Axe be like, you don't know which one is which.
Oof. I'm 5 feet 11 inches. Alright, anyway. Okay, so. Enough about... Anyway. So, as you're watching this happen, what do you do?
I want you quicken the pace, obviously.
Okay.
I'm gonna quicken my pace too, but I'm gonna try and, like, spin around in front of him and put my hand on his
Did
chest.
this happen when Orion met
Yes,
Axe?
yes. No, this is exactly what happened when Kepesk met Orion. It's just a repeat.
I
History
want to,
repeats itself.
like, avoid him doing that.
Okay.
I
Alright, as you kind of walk slightly around him as
Just-
he's
just
stopping.
good
I'm
old-
gonna
I'm gonna
grab
good old
him
size that.
very roughly by the arm and try to push him backwards.
Alright.
And
Okay,
I'm
can I-
well. Wait. I was also going to speak, unless you want to act.
Well, no, I was gonna speak too, but...
Well,
No,
I'm
please,
gonna
after you.
Well, I'm going to speak first. Unless you. Just
Say something!
listen. We don't need you. We're fine on our own. Tag along if you have to. But you're not mine.
Well, obviously... Hoffman... Is he Captain?
Captain Hoffman. yes.
Okay. Obviously, Captain Hoffman saw your incompetence and realized that you needed some help. So here I
I'm
am.
gonna draw my
Listen.
sword.
Immediately, Axel runs up and is going to attempt to disarm you. Go ahead and make a contested strength check.
Oh, the 5.
5 total.
Yeah.
He got a 4 total. As you,
Really?
yeah, he's not very strong. As he goes to, like, try to wrestle it away from you, but you just kind of end up having, like, a limp noodle fight as you manage to, like, manage to just
A
barely
limp
hold on to
noodle
your sword.
fight.
Yeah, it's like, it's a really embarrassing display.
Okay, I brandish my sword and just keep it pointed at him. I will end you.
What is your problem?
What is your problem?
You're not Orion. Alright, I'm gonna put my sword back. I'm just gonna keep walking in the direction we were going.
Who the fuck is Orion?
He's a friend that we lost recently. Everyone's just kind of raw. Please forgive our friend. He's not very well versed in the ways of society.
It happened literally yesterday. The wound is fresh. He means well. think?
My condolences.
Thanks.
I'm gonna walk ahead, holding my wound. Being
Let's hold on. As he walks up to you, oh, shoot, where my D8 go? You're back up to full health as he touches your side and you regain 13 hit points.
I want to surprised look down at him. I'm sorry, and
he is awkwardly looking up at you,
hold out a hand.
Let's just keep this professional for now. That is it.
Handshake. Thank you. Oh God.
It's not very good, but he does give you a handshake.
It's kind of like a.
The hands are shaken.
Yeah.
Okay. As you continue on, Kepesk, you are walking in the wrong direction. After some time, as you watch the party kind of behind you, heading off in a slightly different direction.
I thought that was the direction that we were.
Dutch is the only person who knows where the Brigadier is.
Oh.
I'm
gonna
as you kind of
round.
slowly merge back into the back of the party, continuing your way, as eventually, after the better part of 2.5 hours of just a brisk march, with awkward silence pervading, you eventually make your way to a small wooded area where there you can see just on the edge of it there is a small encampment of what appears to be Lord's Alliance men, a small garrison of the Red Army that has kind of gathered here. As you approach, what?
Because it's the Russians.
What?
Red Army. I don't know what you're saying because you're mumbling the song, so I couldn't hear it in order to identify it at all. It was great. Yes. Yes, it's the Red Army, sometimes known as the Crimson Tide. You're welcome. As you guys make your way, you're eventually stopped by a guy who's just kind of standing. He's like, "Halt! Who goes there?"
My name is Dutch. This is the... Do you have a name?
No.
Them.
This is them.
We're part of the Adventurers Guild.
Well, obviously. Anyways,
We're
are
killing
here.
a griffin.
Yes.
Right, Brigadier Manning is this way. And he kind of leads you in towards the camp as a few of the more common folk of the lower tier of the army is kind of giving you irritated looks. Everybody could just go ahead and make a general insight check to try to gather the mood of the camp.
21.
16.
Kepesk, you're a little distracted at the moment. You're not really focused on what's currently happening. As the rest of you guys kind of gather from the general looks and the atmosphere of the current camp, that the people here are perhaps not quite as accepting of adventurers, as they've had to work really hard most of their lives to earn their way into the Red Army and manage to keep their position here. Whereas most adventurers just kind of go out and make their way, that most common folk couldn't perhaps otherwise do. But nonetheless, they seem not hostile towards you, but it's certainly not the most welcoming environment. As you are eventually brought into a small yellow tent with gilded red on the outside of the border itself.
Because he's a brigadier, that makes sense. I was like, what's with all the
Yeah. As you take in, you see kind of sitting behind the desk is he looks about 5 foot, maybe 9. As he's just kind of sitting there. He's got this huge, long mustachio and a little bit of a goatee. Is just kind of this. He looks like diabetes guy a little bit. As he's just kind of sitting there and looks up.
I've arrived. Well, about damn time, I suppose. Have you killed the griffin yet?
Not sure about them, but no, I have not.
Then kill the griffin already. It's out that way. It's as simple as that.
All right. Are you sure it's that way?
Yeah.
Do sightings?
Follow the smell of rotting horses. It's picked off one or two of my men as well. This is getting rather irritating.
You can barely see his mouth because of the amount of mustache beard that's going. Yeah. You can't even see it.
Get to it.
No.
I'm gonna turn around without saying anything.
You okay?
Walk in the general direction he said.
All right. As you immediately set straight back out onto the path, continuing, who would like to helm this search for the creature? All right, go ahead
Best
and
knows about the smell of rotting horses.
go ahead and make a survival check.
That one.
All right. You are so focused on showing that you are the superior in this situation that it ends up getting to your head, and you just kind of like realize after a little bit that in fact the sounds that you were following in the woods are actually the camp again, and you've led everybody in a big circle. As this is happening, Argon is like, I think I smelled something that...
I don't...
Axel points the other way and is like, I think I smelled something that way. Let's yeet. Yeah, he immediately sets forward onto the correct trail as you follow him deeper and deeper into the woods, to the point where it reaches a much more hilly terrain, to the point where there's almost occasional... You guys have to stop yourselves before you plummet off a short cliff that, maybe like 30 or 20 feet up in the air at random intervals. As this is continuing, everybody go ahead and make a perception check.
14.
14.
19.
19.
7.
7.
Good, because you're a beta.
Alright. As you guys are continuing on, how much did you get again? 19. You eventually, after some point, hear what sounds like... It sounds like if a rooster and a lion conceived a child. As you hear this horrible, like, screeching sound, as you hear someone in the distance, this horrible sound, and you hear also the nearby flapping of wings, as after some time you guys lay low for a moment and see in the trees the griffin kind of circling in the general area, flapping its very powerful wings, as that is a very large creature. Yeah.
Could I cast something at it?
From this distance, it's
Too far away.
about 240 feet away. If
Is it high, or is it how far?
It's up a little ways and slightly forward,
Okay.
from where you are, and kind of continuing in the general direction that you guys were going.
Wait.
Do you have the range for it?
No, but is there any way I can get its attention?
Probably.
Okay. I would like to start yelling and waving my arms.
Okay. As you watch Dutch immediately break cover and just, roaring out a fantastic challenge to the griffin. The griffin, its keen eyes, as you can see from up where it is, it appears to be this kind of eagle-like frontal area, as it let's see, as it spots you guys and kind of keeps flying for a little bit, and then suddenly just drops, turning around, and suddenly is flying at maximum speed towards you guys, sacrificing all of its altitude for speed. As it is rushing towards you, it flies directly overhead.
Dutch is now laughing like, ah!
That is
Got its attention, didn't
that is a 9 to hit.
Me?
Yes. No. Okay. As it just kind of with its claws past you, it begins beating its powerful wings. As you have to duck slightly as the claws just rake past your head, but you don't take any damage. As it begins circling again, and once again looks at you and makes the same horrible screeching sound. It is going to go ahead and make another pass.
Can I get my sword out?
Mm-hmm. As it's flying down, another claw attack towards you. That is a 14 to hit.
Nope.
As once again you kind of seeing it prepared, just kind of bring your sword up and block it halfway as it or kind of like as you see Dutch pull out what seems to just be the hilt of a sword as he just kind of batters it aside. Again, it misses you and is gonna just continue flying its way on. Continues on.
Oh,
You
wait,
don't
not
see it
coming
turning.
back again?
From where you are, yes.
Dang it. Well, now that we've got its attention, let's go.
I'm gonna ready my double cross
I was
with
gonna
a
suggest
grape
that.
shot.
Great shot. Okay. Both of them?
Yeah.
Alright.
Could
So
I...
is that
Oh,
two
sorry.
bolts?
Yeah, if you use your
Okay.
attack action, you're gonna fire 2 of them, and it's one attack roll.
Okay, so I am using up 2 of the bolts.
Yes.
Makes sense.
You'd be out.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to, like, hold just the hilt of the sword and then grip it with both hands and activate it.
Okay. As you watch Dutch kind of hold his sword in place, as he kind of focuses for a moment, this beam of bright yellow light extends from it, as it's just kind of this almost an animated flame, but of just a rod of yellow light as the radiant sword activates.
Well, whatever. You get the lightsaber.
I wanna like look at everybody with my
it's very
eyes cocked and be
lightsaber
like,
like.
hey, like what you see?
Impressive. Let's kill the griffin.
As you guys continue on for about another hour, continuing to yeah. As you guys prepare, like ready in case it appears at any moment. About another hour continues as eventually a large clearing appears, and you smell more intensely the scent of rotting flesh. As there is a clearing and this wide hill that seems to just break off. As you look up, you are looking at a sheer cliff face that extends for a decent ways to the left and to the right. But you do see the end of it from where you are, and on top of it you see what appears to be the outline of a nest.
Any of you know how to climb?
I'm just gonna head to the left so that I can eventually
Okay.
make my way up.
It takes you a few minutes, but you do manage to get up. Go ahead and make a perception check.
How tall is it?
From where it is, it's about. It's a straight 30 feet up.
19 total.
19 total. As you're approaching the griffin, you spot is sitting sentry-like at the top of its nest and just glancing around with the familiar quick head movements of a bird, as its eagle eyes are just picking the area apart.
Okay,
Does not seem to immediately
I'm gonna
notice you.
shoot it with both.
Can I?
All right, from where you are, it's about 40 feet away.
40
so
feet. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go prone and try to crawl.
okay, go ahead and make a stealth check. Yes, Simon.
Do I have anything on?
Oh, I'm gonna wait till he does what he does.
Okay,
Could I? After he's
10
done.
total.
10 total. What?
Well, if he's gonna do whatever.
Okay.
Then.
As you're beginning to just kind of sniper crawl forward through the grass, eventually you... Excuse me, I've got a burp. Okay, there we go. As you continue, like, sniper crawling through, you eventually place your elbow directly in a hill of ants.
Ooh.
And you're just like, oh. And you begin eating them off it. It's a pretty nice snack, actually. But you get a little distracted for a moment before you realize that there is definitely an awkward amount of silence currently. As you look back up, and the griffin is like menacingly standing like just outside of its nest, looking down at you.
How far
About
away am I?
30 feet away.
30 feet?
About 25 from where you are,
Can I
actually.
attempt to
Okay.
serenade the bird?
Excuse me?
Could I attempt to serenade the griffin?
You are not able to see it now.
Okay.
Because
I'm-
you're still
I'm
down
gonna-
on the edge of the cliff.
Okay.
I'm gonna just very slowly take aim and fire both bolts.
Okay. As it does that, it...
Uh-oh.
I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
Yo. 13.
19.
19?
19.
13.
13?
4.
Dior.
Fewer?
Ooh. Oh boy. Ooh. Okay. So, given, let's see. Yeah, up immediately is Kepesk.
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna shoot both bolts directly at it. With the griffin. Was that is it a dex?
It is dex based, so go ahead and roll and just add your dex. Because you're not proficient with this.
10 and 8.
10 and 8. What?
I have a +3 to dex.
Alright, what's your total?
Well, I thought it was for... Do I not do it for both bolts?
No, I specifically said it's only one attack. So,
Oh!
what was...
The
Alright,
first one was a 7 plus a 3, so a 10.
a 10. As you go to fire, you see it, both bolts just sort of whisk past as you hear a distant as the rest of you are now hearing as two explosions kind of go off slightly nearby. That's your action.
Okay. Would it be a bonus action to stand up, or is it that an
No,
action?
that would be half your movement.
Okay, I'm gonna stand up, and
Okay.
so it's
You
still...
have a bonus action and 15 feet of movement.
It's not within 15, it's 25.
It's about 20 feet away from you now.
20 feet away from me. If I moved within 5 feet, could I use my bite?
You'd be 5 feet
Or
away.
no, that's an action. So that's not close enough though.
Well, you could rage. You have a bonus action though.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna rage, but I'm not gonna use the rest of my movement.
Okay. As you stand there and just kind of realize that you just wasted some really cool bolts, you just and start to feel the familiar blood rush up in your eyes.
Mom said it's my turn.
Mom said it's my turn on the nest. So is the magic attack that happens when I rage, is that an action, bonus action, or anything like that? Or is
That happens along with it, but you're too far away for it to affect the griffin.
I thought it was...
You have to be within 10 feet.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, fine.
Alright. So, immediately as this happens, up next, Axel, seeing this, is just going to like, well, and is going to rush up. Bless your soul.
Thank you.
Is going to run 30 feet, dash as a bonus action, and he makes it up right alongside you and just kind of sits there. It's kind of big. And he just kind of reverses the grip on his swords and gets into a parrying stance. Up immediately, and he's holding his action until it gets close enough. Up immediately after that is Dutch. You do.
I would like to inspire Kepesk.
Okay. You'd have to move 30 feet up as you rush up and kind of look at this. You, realizing the awkwardness of the situation, pull your... I don't even remember what it's called.
A citern.
As you guys see this very strange instrument kind of pull suddenly out of his shirt, as he just as you feel maybe this isn't so bad after all. As you feel very inspired at this particular moment, you have now a D8 inspiration, which you can use on any attack roll or ability check that you foresee in the future. You can. As long as you roll, as long as you roll it and add before the success or failure of what you do is determined.
Okay, so I roll and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to tell you my number, and then I roll my D8 and get the inspiration.
No, it'd be like, oh, that's not good enough. I'm gonna roll inspiration. So like, you can.
Yeah.
As long as I don't tell you that it hits.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I roll it, I'm like, okay, that's kind of low.
Yeah,
Ironically,
exactly.
I rolled a 2 on that.
Okay, so that is your bonus action. You have an action. What would you like to do?
Can I climb at all?
Yeah, you can use your action to dash up because like where the cliff is, it's just kind of like a peak,
Okay.
and then tapers off towards the ends, and you are at the end.
So I can
but they're
30 feet?
yeah, they're 30 feet up, so you could get there, and then you would be even with everybody else right now.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, as you rush up, sword reactivates, preparing there. Up after that The griffin kind of looking at you all is just gonna and is going to make a beak attack against you.
No.
That is a 25, and that is
Slightly.
8 points of slashing damage to you, and he's going to make a claw attack against Kepesk. That is a 23 to hit.
Yep.
You take... Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Let's d6. You take 13 points of slashing damage reduced to 6. As it just kind of... and it's going to continue to just fly right past you guys. You could get attacks of opportunity should you choose.
I do.
As that's what Axel is going to do. Yes, that hits. That is a miss. Okay. Alright, as Axel just kind of slashes for it, raking his sword across one of its legs. What do you got?
I'm gonna bite. Or can I do that as a...
For an attack of opportunity, it would have to be a weapon attack.
I don't have any, like, weapons I can use drawn already.
Oh, that's true. Well, good call. Thanks for playing by the rules. What you got? What's your roll? Are you taking an attack of opportunity?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's just a normal attack.
It's just a straight attack.
8.
8 definitely misses. As
I tried.
you kind of like trying to drop so that the beak misses you, failing.
Can I drop into a split?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Go ahead and just make a straight athletics check or acrobatics.
Oh. Well, 11.
11. Yeah, you managed to drop into like a kind of like half split. It's like pretty decent as you just as it flies past you.
Completely missed.
Yep. Simon, you watch as the griffin like, whoa, there it goes. You're a blast.
Okay, so, where am I in comparison to everyone else? I'm having trouble visualizing.
Okay.
You're at the bottom of the...
So it's 30 feet until you can reach level ground, and then another 30 feet up to where everybody else is.
Okay.
It's just flown past that and is now about 30 feet from you guys and 60 feet from you.
Okay. Can I... No, it's stupid. Okay. Can I get even with everyone else? Like, can I move to where they are?
Yeah, if you move and then dash.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, as Sam just kind of manages to catch up with the rest of you guys, as you are pretty winded and can't really do anything else this round. Up next is Kepesk. As you're watching it just kind of like begin to circle around.
So it's in the air?
Yeah, it kind of stops and like turns and is kind of just flapping and hovering about 30 feet away from you and about 10 feet up.
Is it over the like cliff face?
No,
it's on the other side.
It's on the other side. As you actually take a look now, it seems to be just kind of a large empty field.
Okay. I can't jump 10 feet high.
No,
Damn it! I need to get the spell jump.
but you can throw. You can
Oh wait, I have.
you can throw a short sword.
I only have the one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw because I still have it. I'm gonna throw the bone club that I picked up.
Okay.
Does
As you kind of
1d4
stow it
damage.
and go ahead and just make, as it's a rather unwieldy weapon, just roll and add your dex.
20 total.
Total. It's just kind of with all your might, just hurl it as hard as you can. Go ahead and roll a d4 and add 3.
4.
So as you just kind of like, wait, you rolled a 1?
Yeah,
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
As you just, as it just kind of like
God.
angrily screeches at you. It looks pissed now. Would you like to do anything else?
I'm gonna call its mother a pigeon.
Okay. As you swear at it briefly in Draconic, it just kind of like sits there still. Up next is Axel, who is going to just he's going to stow his short swords, draw 2 daggers, and just fire both of them. That's a big miss. And that's a really big hit. Alright. 7 damage. As the one dagger manages to just... The first one, it kind of ducks out of the way, having to do a little downward draft as he sees this moment, chucks the second one, and it embeds itself in one of its legs. It just reels back in pain. It just... It's difficult to make that sound. I'm not going to do it again. Squaw!
Angry squawing.
Up after that is Dutch.
Okay, so the Cittern can cast spells.
Yes.
Can I cast them on myself?
Yes.
Okay.
I cast Fireball
I would
on myself.
I would like to stand up straight, pull out my sitar once more, and give it a good old strum, and start to cast Fly on myself.
Okay. As you watch him slowly ascend into the air as he just kind of... as he's just slowly ascending as the chord progression continues on.
Do I have
a
to keep
faint
playing
trail
it in
of
order
glitter.
to, like...
No, you can...
Okay.
Once you have concentration on it, as long as you're still
Okay.
doing
It's just Stairway to Heaven.
that. Anyway. So, that's your action, bonus action movement.
Can I get closer to it?
Yeah, you can get 30 feet closer.
I'll get 20 feet closer.
20 feet closer. Okay, from where it is, it's about 10 feet away, so you just kind of like slowly coast up to it, like Superman style, blade out, just... It's a really weird sight. There is a faint trail of like glitter, like faint like sparkles on the breeze. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's nothing like you've really ever seen before.
Definitely.
Up after that is the
Hell is
Griffin,
this
who
Bumbo?
is just kind of like
Bumbo.
looking at you with like intense like... It's really weirded out by this and doesn't like it, so it's just going to and attempt to bite you.
Hold on, don't you mean Dumbo?
Well, I just said Bumbo as like a...
Oh.
Brumpo. As its confusion gets the better of it, as it tries to snap towards you, as you just kind of like... as it tries to bite down onto your blade, but it isn't there, just kind of... It passes through it harmlessly. The second attack, however, is it just kind of... and it's going to swoop at you and is going to make a claw attack against you, and that is a 23 to hit.
No. Yes.
Okay. That is
Armor class of 6.
11 points of slashing damage as it just rakes past you and just as it is going to just stay where it is, currently engaged in combat with you, both about 20 feet in the air and a few feet away from you guys. Next to Simon.
Okay, so it's kind of generally close to us, right?
It's close to Dutch right now.
Okay, so how far away is it from Axe?
It's about 20 feet, same as you.
Okay, and I'm near Axe?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a really stupid idea. How do you feel about it?
I already like it.
Say I levitate you.
I really like it.
And put you on its back.
Let's do it. Okay, as he draws his sword kind of in ready, he's like, alright, send me up there.
Alright, I'm gonna cast levitate on him.
As he's just like, oh, and is immediately like weirded out.
Can I do an inspiration on that? Or do I have to wait until the turn?
You have to wait till your turn.
Okay.
So with levitate,
Starships were meant to fly.
Okay. So it can rise up 20 feet and remains there. Let's see.
It says you can move it on your turn.
Yeah.
So he's just in the air.
You can change the target's altitude by up to 20 feet in either direction. If you are the target, you can move up or down as part of the move. Otherwise, you can use your action to move the target, which must remain within the spell's range. So it seems to imply that you can only move by pulling or pushing against fixed objects in space.
So I was trying to levitate him onto it so that he isn't just stuck in the air.
That would be closer to like a telekinesis type thing. This is more just like you basically cast anti-gravity, where he's just kind of like floating in the air. He's now 20 feet, but is a little ways away from it. Currently cannot seem to move.
Start throwing things at him.
Well, I'll
You
try
could.
to fix that next turn.
Okay.
Rip X.
As he's just kind of like, oh, just floating there in the air, swords akimbo. Up after
Quick,
that is
throw X.
Bob, throw me. Up after that is Kepesk.
How much reach can I get with my telescopic great axe?
Same as a regular great axe, 10 feet.
Okay.
Or I think.
Could I get 10 feet up? If I were directly under it?
No. You can't jump 10 feet, unfortunately.
Wait, you said it has a 10-foot reach. What?
Yeah, but it's 20 feet up.
Oh, I thought it was 10 feet up.
No.
It moved, I see. Well,
Actually, it doesn't even have a reach. So
Oh,
it only has a
got it.
5-foot range.
lame. I'm out of ideas.
All right.
I'm just gonna move closer to it and hold.
Okay. You're holding till it gets close enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're holding your action. Up next is Axel, who's like, now what?
It's not working like I expected.
Fuck.
I can improvise as he just throws his sword. You are unfortunately in the way. As the swords are like coasting right past you, but he's
Johnny
trying
Bravo.
to.
That's a good example of Dutch's personality.
He's trying not to hit you. That. Let's see. Partial. Okay. It's got about half cover. So that hits the griffin, and the second one. What's your AC?
17.
Okay. The second one, like, the first one impacts in like its general shoulder areas. It screeches and flaps backwards. The second one, the second sword kind of slaps against you as you kind of feel like this heavy impact. As Axel is just like, sorry.
What the fuck? No.
That is another 10 damage.
Dutch would like to look in confusion as now noticing Axe just kind of like floating.
Yeah, he's
Just
also
like-
floating with you. There's no sparkle trail, but you know, it's still pretty cool. As he
I
is
thought this
going
was
to,
Thriller for a second.
he's going to hunter's mark the creature. Okay, after that is Dutch. You are currently immediately engaged in the by the target.
Okay. What's the distance on Shatter?
It would hit you. It's like 20 feet.
Oh, okay. So I can't. It's okay.
You would have to back up, incurring an attack of opportunity.
Ooh.
But you would only hit the creature.
I would like to pull a metal ball from
Okay.
my pocket.
As you watch him pull out a baseball, which you don't know what that is, sized metal sphere, as he just chucks it towards the creature. That is strength saving throw. Oh no, it's a ranged attack roll. So go ahead and roll. Add your dex.
22 total.
22 definitely hits. And
No.
it is a strength check, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That is a natural 1.
Yeah. Yeet.
As you kind of take it, chuck it as you land it square in the middle of the head. As you see this ball kind of instantly just expand into this large telescoping, like spring-like, almost like a slinky, just wrap around the creature as it in circles as it and is immediately restrained as its wings are just pinned to its sides. Lands with great impact on the ground, taking 7 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall. It's
I
just
would
kind of
like to stop flying and just be like
as you
slowly
descend.
All
right. As you watch him descend, kind of landing squarely on top of the currently restrained griffin.
with like a foot like me up on the head like.
He's just kind of standing there, with radiant sword flashing in the sunlight. As it's weird, it does seem to be the sunlight that's flashing off itself. All right, but next up is the griffin, who is going to attempts to make a strength check to break out.
No!
It rolls a 4.
It rolls a 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So did that expend mine or not?
Yeah, I rolled a 4. You literally actually predicted the roll I got, which is kind of freaky. I'm like, I'm a little concerned by that, but yes, it does in fact roll a 4 as it just kind of tries to struggle free.
So does that expend?
Do I keep my 4?
No.
Damn it.
Because you said it technically before it rolled, and it rolled and landed on 4
So
directly
in
as you said
theory,
that.
you literally made that change.
Yeah, you pretty much caused
Your
that.
breath
Sorry.
pushed the air, so you literally caused.
The sound waves shook
rolls
the
a 4.
table.
It's just
All
like,
right. As it is completely restrained, completely unable to move. At this point, I think we've went ahead and broken initiative. What would you guys like to do?
Well,
I'm gonna gently set X back on.
Okay,
I'm
so you
gonna
just
run
kind of...
immediately up to it.
I've never used
Alright.
that one before, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you see this creature is seemingly restrained. Can I see the card again real quick?
I'm gonna immediately try to stab it in the head.
Okay. One moment,
With
please.
sorry, but specifically with the lion's blade.
Okay,
Yes.
for the purposes of this...
oh, dope, it can't break through.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
it's
Yay.
stuck for the next 24 hours. For the purposes of this, we'll leave it to you spend another minute or so just kind of hacking slowly away at it as it just kind of is struggling weakly and eventually just falls limp as it's just kind of accepted its fate, as after a few minutes of just hacking into this thing, you eventually relieve it of its head.
Yeah.
That is
I
completely
would like
detached.
to like take the ball back and
Okay.
like give it a go. Like
As you as you speak its command word, it's kind of retracts back in itself.
can its command word be yeet?
Yes, it can.
Yeet.
As you as it makes this metallic twanging sound, and you pick it up. A little bit of blood on it, but you kind of polish it off, just like.
So how big is the head?
It's about the size of your torso.
I'm gonna like lift it, and like I'm gonna take that loincloth that I had in my backpack and just try to. I know it's probably not big enough, but I'm gonna like put it on the wet, bloody part.
It's like
It's not. It's
like that large, and the stump
Oh,
is like that large.
okay.
It's several feet across
Just
the
give
next
it-
stump.
I'm
Give
gonna
it to the
s-
radio, and he's like, "Is this a loincloth?"
I'm gonna.
This isn't yours, is it?
I'm gonna take some of its claws from its
Okay,
paws.
go ahead and make a nature check.
Cool.
Is any part of a griffin useful in any kind of potion? Anything.
Make an Arcana check.
11.
11.
That
That's funny. All right. As you begin to harvest a few of the claws from it, you manage to get 2 out of there. You have 2 griffin claws. You do, in fact, recall that there are certain alchemical and magical practices that do require certain aspects, like griffin's feathers, and 1 or 2 that require griffin's blood. But none that you are immediately familiar with enough to actually apply. But you do know that it does have value, which is it's currently seeping out onto the ground.
I'm gonna reluctantly collect some feathers, and would I technically have anything on my person I could put blood in, like a little vial or something?
Have you drunk any potions?
No.
Okay. Otherwise, then, well, I don't think you have a.
I have an explorer's pack. Do I have any bottles in there?
You have a water skin.
I'm gonna pull it out and drink it and hand it to Simon. Well,
Okay.
I wouldn't know that though. Never mind.
Well, I could mention to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have anything I could?
Yeah, I can. I do, and then I drink, and then I give.
Yeah. You.
Okay.
So you have a water skin full of griffin's blood.
Cool.
I'm actually also gonna pluck the feathers.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get about 15 feathers out of it, and you get about 30.
I get 30.
30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you know aliens?
All right. So
Are we back?
yes.
I'm going to craft a necklace from the feathers and 1 claw in the middle. So I'd say.
Okay. It'll take you a short rest to do so.
A short rest? Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll do it whenever we rest. But
Okay.
I'm gonna
just
take some
so that
feathers.
it's on recording. 5 griffin
20.
feathers on one side,
Oh.
5 on the other, and then 1 claw in the middle.
Neat. All right. Very cool. Very tribal. I dig it. Do you wanna? You're not doing that now.
I'm gonna do it when we do a short rest.
Okay. The current area there's still the just general stench and also the currently still gushing slightly dead griffin body.
We'll just leave that for the animals.
Well, let's be
Right?
off.
Horses eat meat, right?
Well, I'm gonna lift.
Wait.
They can. It's not pleasant to look at.
Question.
Yes,
There was a nest, right?
there is a nest.
Did we see if there were any eggs?
I was
Or-
about.
You go and look.
Yeah.
As you go and look,
Griffin
the
eggs?
stench is like really overwhelming.
I'm gonna
It's
lift.
pretty bad. But as you do approach, there's like
Children screaming.
Was that
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
there's a party
that's
next
the
door.
party next door. Yeah, we live in a real fun neighborhood. What do you think they would do if we just hopped the fence and just joined them?
It's like, yeah.
Like, hey,
just, like,
guys.
drinking, doing party
Yeah.
games.
Just
We're
act like
just
we've been there the whole time.
Yeah. So is there any pizza left? Anyway.
Specifically taco night.
Anyway, as you take a look, it's just sort of there's a lot of gore in this nest. There's some rotting horse carcasses. You see a glaive that's kind of like embedded in and what appears to be the remnants of one of the soldiers who looks very familiar to the other ones, and there are currently 2 sitting white porcelain griffin eggs sitting in the nest.
Destroy them. I'm just kidding. Sell them to the circus for money.
Okay, this is a weird question. I don't. It's unlikely, but is there anywhere in like Secumber or like anywhere that I know of that like maybe what's the word? Someplace that would like take stuff like that, like animals, like a bestiary or something like.
Based on what you already know, you know griffin eggs to be fairly valuable to the right seller. If nothing else, you could probably sell it to the 7 String and Harp, and they would make up a mean breakfast.
I was gonna say.
I think I'm gonna take them.
Okay, as you just kind of like carefully pick up these 2 eggs, you're just kind of like, oh,
Children.
my babies.
Javis.
I wonder, are lizard folk? They are very, very reptilian. Do they lay eggs? Is that
Yeah.
they do? Okay.
Yes. Life finds a way.
Babies.
Very, very, very velociraptor.
How big are these eggs?
These are like Z cup.
Like this,
Goddamn.
like specific.
It's
Okay.
yeah, it's a big egg.
Okay. Hey.
It's like
I see.
this big.
Okay. Big guy.
I immediately
be
grab
careful.
them, like
Be really careful.
essentially clutching them like
Okay.
newborn infants.
Aw.
With a mother's instinct, Kepesk immediately cradles the griffin eggs to himself.
You might want to not show those. Show those to the general.
I'm gonna. How thick was the cloth in the loincloth?
I have a
Is
bag.
it like
Not very.
okay?
I have a bag.
Just let him care for them.
Yeah. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap one as much as I can in the loincloth to cushion it, and I'm gonna. What all do I have in an explorer's packet? I don't know why I can't remember. It's
Are you
rogue.
gonna drink either of those? No.
Good question.
What?
His eye begins to twitch a little bit in like pure mother rage.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Pheromones like.
You got to him first. Up to you.
I queef. No.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
All right.
No.
Wound queef.
No, so I am going to wrap one as much as I can to cushion it in the loincloth.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at Simon. Do you have anything to cushion the other baby?
Are they asleep?
Are they? I don't know the anatomy of eggs.
Why are we whispering?
I have a bag that's pretty big. I can tell you right now that he's
a bedroll or something?
I do have a bedroll, don't I?
You do.
I'm gonna wrap them both in that with the loincloth essentially between them,
Okay.
so that they don't crush each other.
The loincloth is just a small scrap of leather. There's like almost no material
fuck
there.
that. I'm gonna. You understand what I mean when I
do.
say I'm gonna wrap one and the other, like roll them.
Yeah.
So they're not touching, but they're not crushed.
That's doable.
And I'm gonna just kind of fit it into my pouch, my bag. where
Okay.
I had
Your stomach.
Yes, my kangaroo mother pouch that I just grew.
All right. As you begin heading off down, back towards the Brigadier, who's carrying the griffin head? You're carrying the griffin head. And with
Rather far away from my nice clothing.
with your precious cargo on board, as you make your way back towards the Brigadier. What are we calling this one?
My babies.
My babies.
My babies.
Okay.
Stairway to
Wound.
heaven.
Wound queef.
Wound. All right. All right. I think I just wanted to say we discovered maybe the worst series of words ever put together. It's just wound queef. Think about it for a second. So are we calling it wound queef or stairway to heaven?
I think Stairway to
Stairway
Heaven
to
is really
Heaven.
more relevant.
It's considerably more relevant. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next time when we descend from the Stairway to Heaven onto the Highway of Hell. Good night.